friend Ryder Christofferson here again with another first listen review. We're going with a re-release, so this actually has been out before under different names, different labels, but I don't think I've ever heard this. I honestly don't think I've ever listened to this one before. It is Humble Pie, and their live album California 81. So this is a little bit later in their career, towards the end of their run with albums. I think this is like right around the second and the last album they released with Steve Marriott as their frontman, if I'm not mistaken. But so this would have been right around the time that Go for the Throat would have came out, and which is actually the very first Humble Pie album I ever bought. And I don't know if I mentioned it on the box set review I did, but I just remember being in there was a department store called Woolworths, and I was a little kid, and they had the budget, cutout bin or whatever, and I just remember they had the big record of On to Victory and Go for the Throat both there, and I didn't have enough money to buy both, and they just looked really cool, and I ended up buying Go for the Throat, so that was actually the first one I ever bought, and it was a pretty cool introduction to Humble Pie, even though I think their earlier stuff was even better, but how can you go wrong with Humble Pie? I actually really like this band. And it's funny, I was checking out the album cover here, and the Les Paul that Steve is holding on this album cover is one I actually, almost exactly the same one I just bought, minus the white pick guard, so that was pretty cool. Just loved the sound of that style of guitar, and purposely was searching out the Les Paul just because I wanted to get the type of sound that these guys have, so it's kind of cool that he's holding that one on there. So anyway, as far as the album goes, it's got only 7 tracks on this, but they are the extended live jams that they tend to do when they play it live, and it kicks right in with I Don't Need No Doctor, which he sounds great singing on this one. The band is tight, just really recorded well too. I'll give him that. This is one of the better live albums as far as sound quality goes, but Humble Pie is a pretty raw rockin' band, and that's one of the things I really love about them. And they don't waste any time getting right into the extended jamming and stuff like they do on this one. So I was really digging that one. It kicked right in, and then right into 30 Days in the Hole, like probably 2 of the most well-known songs that they have, just kicking this thing off, both like over 9 minutes long, so there's a lot of that extended jamming going on here. But that's what I like, live albums that do something different than what the studio album is, and bands like this that just kind of go off and do what they want in the middle of songs when it works, because there's bands that do that it doesn't work. I really enjoy it. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. As far as the next few goes, they don't quite do the extended jamming quite as much on the rest of this. A couple songs, maybe lesser known ones, Telsa Time and Infatuation, just cool little rockin' songs. I mean, this whole album is, I don't know if this is the whole show or not. I really don't know. It seems like it's pretty short if it was a whole show, but I thought this was actually a really good choice of songs instead of doing the ones that are really super well known. Of course, this is later on in their career as far as having more to choose from, so it might be tougher. I know it's a little tougher for some bands to choose what they're actually going to play when they have more to choose from, but I enjoyed those two. And then like the little gold nugget for me on here is the track 5, Tin Soldier. Now that was kind of like the probably the most well-known song off of that album, Go for the Throat. I've heard a few other artists cover the song. Most notably, the one that pops into my head at first is Lou Gramm. He did one on his second solo album. But actually, it's funny because I was thinking, I knew I'd heard this somewhere else. I had to look really quick where I'd seen it, and it was Transatlantic had it as one of their bonus songs in one of their more recent albums. I think it was what one was it, Kaleidoscope, I believe it was on. Yeah, that Kaleidoscope. And then I had actually forgotten that Scorpions had done a cover of it too, and there's probably like 4 or 5 other bands that I could name off that have done a cover of that song. So it's actually a well-known song, although I like the way Humble Pie does it. So it's cool that all these other bands are covering it and keeping their music alive instead of just doing I Don't Need No Doctor and 30 Days in the Hole like it seems like every other band does. But I really like that song, but I really, even though all those other bands are covering it, I like the way Humble Pie does it the best. So leave it with that. And this version on here is great. It's rough and raw. It's a little bit more obviously raw than the studio version, but not by much. They're actually just that type of band. So anyway, and then Fool for a Pretty Face is track number 6. That's another straight ahead rocker. And then the fun one that ends the album is Get Your Kicks on Route 66. It just sounds like these guys are having a blast, and that type of thing really makes it fun to listen to when it sounds like the band's up there just enjoying themselves, having fun, not a care in the world, and just jamming and just letting it all out on stage, and just having a good time. That's what it sounds like to me. Whether that's what was happening or not, I don't know. But if you can get up there and pull that off, and you're not, then you're even a better musician than I give you credit for. But yeah, really enjoyed this listen. It's a fun one. It's a re-release from Cleopatra. They seem to do a lot of these. They've been doing a lot of the UFO ones lately. Some of those are you might want to check out first. On a Bandcamp is where a lot of stuff you can get this pretty cheap. Actually, I really like the Bandcamp. Not sure how Cleopatra is able to do that on there, because it's supposed to be for independent artists, but I guess they're small enough to be an independent label. I don't know how that works, but I guess if you want to check it out first, go ahead and listen over there, and check out the UFO stuff like I mentioned. And feel free to leave your comments as always. I really like hearing the stories that you guys have from some of these bands, and where you've seen them, and how you found these bands, and maybe suggestions of other stuff we should check out. I always enjoy that stuff. So that's what it's all about, keeping the music alive. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, and all that fun stuff, and we'll talk to you on the next one. See ya.